Hi, Clausius. I can hear you. Not yet. Where do I need to click? Let's see. Oh, sure, sure, sure. Sorry. So visit site. Yes. Okay, it's working. Uh, I don't think so. I have one on Tomago Dragon, but I don't think on this other side. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have a real losing streak. Yes. Yeah, and the first month I played 9 by 9 games, and there my rank went up a bit, and then only later I started 19 by 19, and yeah, I was more consuming Go content in recent months, and only after we made this appointment, I said to myself, okay, now I need to play some games, and this is what you see in the last 10 days or so. Yeah, so I need to practice more actively. I see. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I see. Mhm. Not so many in recent weeks. I had in during the summer, I had some weeks where I did, yeah, like a few hundreds, or I think 2,000 a month was my best. Yeah, but it's not steady. It's not the same every week or every month. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Okay. There we go. Now we got it.
Mhm.
So I'll go ahead and say this again for the recording. Your homework so far is 40 to 60 games in the next month, and we want to 3-star the first 4 categories. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions about that?
Nope. Okay.
Okay, see we're black. Okay, not bad. Um, this one's technically better. And that is because this is still a net. Even if they
Okay.
try to Atari their way out, it's still trapped. So since this is still a net, we actually only have to fix one cutting point, and this gives us better eye shape.
Yeah.
But here you're fixing your cutting points, so I like it. I don't care about that move. No, don't respond to that. Like what is it doing?
Mm. Okay, so I should have played somewhere else.
Yeah, because if their move does nothing, um,
I thought maybe extend to P14 because my stone was hurt. Now that I look at it.
uh, since it's attaching to a wall, you actually don't have to respond anywhere.
Okay.
Apparently my whole, which is weird since I haven't touched it. You know, you'd think these things would just never break after you set it up the first time, but it is so weird. I don't know what happened to it. It was just gone. Okay. Okay. Sorry for that. About that. So if this doesn't threaten to cut you and your liberties are fine, then let's just go play a big move.
Mhm.
Good. Fix your cuts. Oh, why not fix this cut?
Mm.
You fixed the cuts up to this point, but all of a sudden you stopped fixing them.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about surrounding, but you're right. He's cutting me. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a blunder. Yeah, you fixed that one. So a little bit of a loss here, and that's because you didn't fix the cutting point. But you did on all
Yep.
the others, which is kind of interesting. Uh, does this fix a cutting point? Does this help you at all?
I was thinking that I was threatening his two stones on O and P18,
Okay.
but
So
but not
can you
but not
cut?
really because he can Atari me with R18, right? Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this move is a wasted move. I think the first thing I'm noticing is you are playing a lot of local moves. You are not getting to the big moves. Like there's plenty of big moves for you to try. You don't need to respawn so many moves locally until the middle game. You're still in the opening.
Mhm.
This is nice for attacking. I like that you're capping the weak group. But again, you're still in the openings, and this is middle game.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, everything else here is decent. Good. Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, everything there is perfect. This is not the big move. So, would you agree that you're alive?
Yep.
Okay. So we're not playing defense right now, right? Um, then is this line bigger than this line or
Yeah, it's
this
obvious.
line?
Yeah.
This is super small. I don't even think it's half the size of the left. Not even
Yeah.
half the size of
Yeah.
the left. So this is super small. So the first note I'm gonna say, let me actually write down the homework I gave you. Homework 1, 40 through 60 games a month plus um Mega Dragon campaign 1 through 4 need 3 stars. And then the first thing we notice, you are good at fixing cuts most of the time, but you play a lot of um and the opening. So that would be my first uh note is just your opening can be improved. Very nice. Ignore small moves. Don't get cut. Very good. Don't get cut. Very good. Don't know if we need to be there. This is still an open side. We can play here. We can develop. But there's still an open side. So we're still more or less arguably in the opening. Okay. So now we're playing a bunch of center moves with no point. So typically what I want to see is in the classy approach, we'll play extensions and then we'll play one space jumps in order to develop a section of the board. You see, we're getting this. And then usually your opponent will do something about it. Maybe they invade or whatever. And now you're going to attack to make a positive exchange rate. Do you know that term, positive exchange rate?
Mm, yep.
Yep. So here, you're not really getting all that much. So it's not very big. And
Yeah,
it's
I see. I have a tendency of following up of something that has recently been played instead of looking at the whole picture, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, you're playing
Okay.
what you can call puppy go, where you follow
Yeah. Yeah, I know
follow
the
along
term.
like a
Yeah.
puppy dog.
Yeah.
Here, it's debatable. This is definitely not a good move, but I'm not sure if you were reading this cutting point or not. But actually, if you just extend down one, the cut is a lot easier to read.
Mhm.
So because you're not cuttable, you don't need to fix. But I'm not sure if you knew that. So if you don't know, then I guess. But okay, no. This one's silly. This one's silly. This is a ladder. That makes sense?
Mm. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one is silly. I think this one's below 15Q. Okay, so you want to surround. Very good. Just surround. Cut is possible. I think it's better just to stay on the outside during a fight, though. You want your stones affecting the next section. But cutting is good unless they sacrifice it like this, and then all of a sudden you're cut off. Here's actually a good chance for profit. So white is a weak group. We could just cap it like normal, but we could also make fourth line cash. And the follow up is to surround, right?
Mhm.
So that means they have to respond. Well, now we're making fourth line cash and Sente. Fourth line cash and Sente is very nice profit. None of those need responses. You can surround, you can get fourth line. There's no cutting point. There's no cutting point. You don't have to respond. I don't know what this move does. Don't push diagonals. You force them to fix Aji. Do you know the term Aji?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't force them to
Potential in
fix.
the future. Yeah.
Yeah, don't force them to fix Aji. You kill a lot of your future moves. So I really don't like this move. This is playing on the inside of the fight instead of the outside of the fight. Okay. You're really good at staying connected, like 95% of the time. You're really good at staying connected. But the puppy go has got to go. The puppy go is holding you back. You're wasting a ton of moves just following your opponent. This is fine to cut them off. Now I want a pincer, though. Because, again, let's just throw some stones on the board. Just something, right? And you see how your stones are affecting the open section. You want your stones affecting the rest of the board. This is just getting you 2 points, which is not good enough. This is okay. Puppy go. Puppy go. Puppy go, because that's only one stone. Puppy go. That one's fine. That one's fine. And white got to the left first. Now let's just play on the left. Notice how we're also extending this position. But instead, you follow your opponent around the board, and then your opponent gets there first.
Yep.
So this game was a 12.5 point loss, if I recall. So immediately we can see that that's going to be the difference. Is just don't follow your opponent around the board.
The Amaranth just subscribed for 34 months.
What does this do? Like, I can't really get inside your head to understand this.
Yeah, I was thinking he would then connect at L11. And I could extend to the left-hand side from my mini wall that I have here.
Um,
So like threatening to cut off this stone at, what is it, M10.
okay, so
threatening
you're
M10 was the idea.
looking at this?
Yeah.
Okay, then what?
Yeah, it doesn't help so much, right?
Yeah, I think don't get distracted by diagonals. Diagonals are connected. So there's no reason to do it. Instead, you should play here. This stone can't escape. So white went too deep. Knight's moves, immediately check the cutting point and see if it works. You can go here, you can go here. Immediately I want to look and see if it works. It's just a good habit to build. Okay, looks like you realized. And now you're playing a reduction. Big move wise, I don't hate this move. But I think attack and defense, I would like you to recognize that there's a lot of knight's moves. Let's just start poking the knight, and cut. You can find these, it's very powerful. Not the end of the world if you don't, but if you can find them, it's nice. That's staying connected, so that's fine. Staying connected is fine. Staying connected is fine. You have Sente now. You cannot cut a bamboo. Don't try to cut the bamboo. Here, maybe? Just get more value. Just keep getting value. This one's unnecessary, and that is because A and B are Miai, which means if white cuts you at B, you play at A. If white cuts you at A, you play at B. You're actually alive. So you don't need to fix it all. And this is something that takes some practice. Only fix the cuts that work. And so learning all of the tricks for how they don't work, like nets, ladders, miai, learning why all of those don't work help you understand that, hey, this is not a cutting point because of XYZ, so I can go play a big move. And it gives you more moves on the board. So it's something to work on, is only fix cuts that are actually cuts.
Yep.
Okay, so your opponent get to the big move first again. This is really small, because if you look at it, you're only getting 2 lines. Even this move is a little bit bigger, because it gets 2 lines, but I'm also threatening to surround. So probably you want a little bit more than 2 lines. Okay. Now we're wanting to start endgame, because there's not really any open sections left. So assuming no cutting points, let's go to second line. Please, cat, don't turn off my computer. Second line, you can block here if you think it's big. Push the border. Push the border. Push. I accidentally killed white. Anyway, just start playing endgame. Okay. Okay. Unnecessary, so this one's puppy go. Technically, you already have the next move blocked. So it's only 1 point, and 1 point's not worth it. I want to see, like, here. Because now you have A and B to connect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think endgame is going to be the cause of your string of losses. So let's go ahead and look at another game. 85 points. Okay. Another thing about these losses, I want you to be satisfied if the loss is under 45 points. And then at single digit Q, you're going to aim for 35 points. So 44 and a half, I would say this is not a bad game. 14 and a half, it's not a bad game. Yeah, it sucks that we're losing, but we're supposed to lose half the time, right? The ones that I would focus on is the 85 points, the 52 points. These I would be like, and the resignations. These would be like, okay, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, that's a bot. Yeah, I just okay.
Go Gorilla?
No, the other one that I resigned.
Ah,
the one I
okay.
resigned was against the bot.
So I want all of your games to be close within 45 points, because then it's just a matter of sharpening your game to turn them into wins. But the big losses, those are the ones you want to figure out, what did I do wrong? If you died, usually it's the case. Why did you die? Did you miss a cutting point? Did you not make a base? Did you ignore a weak group? And you want to identify that and figure out what cost you the game.
Yep.
Your average time per move is really good. Okay. Nice big moves. Okay. This one's not a big move. You could jump. I think this is one of my favorite big moves. You could play an extension on top. You could invade white. Here you want fourth line, and this is because you have support on both sides of the stone. So you want to develop, not settle. Okay, we need some 1-point jumps. We need to start getting into the center. There's too many edge moves and no center moves. We don't take that many moves to play on the edge. The edges are efficient because it takes very little to get the side. This is a nice reduction. I think yours is bigger. I would develop more than reduce. But as far as reductions go, this is passable. Okay, so now we have a target. So we start surrounding it. It's already pincered, so you don't need to pincer.
Oh, so it's close enough. C16 is close enough to
Yeah,
put pressure on it.
White cannot go a 2-space jump without touching. And touching is not a base. That makes sense?
Okay.
I think I would like to see surrounding here. So this one's a little passive. Also, if you're going to pincer, you would pincer 4th line, because 3rd line pincers to 4th line, 4th line pincers to 3rd line. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It creates a nice little combination and balance. Sure. This is passable for defense. No. Definitely gotta stay connected. So there's a couple ideas here. If you want to attack, you could go like this. And you are kind of running while also threatening white. But defense, I mean, I'm a big fan of defense first. I think it'll get you to 5Q plus pretty easily. But then your very next move, you didn't play defense. And now you have all these cutting points.
Yeah.
So defending cutting points is one of your strengths. I wouldn't avoid that. This is a knight's move. And typically we can use knight's moves to attack, but we have 2 cutting points and we just give ourselves a 3rd cutting point. So this is a big grenade that we're holding. Okay. I honestly don't hate this move. And the reason is it's connected. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Are you connected or not connected? This is tunnel visioning on trying to cut. Because it looks like in this game, you're not even like caring about your cutting points at all. Versus the last game that we looked at, you did quite well. What do you think the difference is?
The difference. I mean, why I did it, why I didn't pay attention to it, or what do you mean?
What is the difference between the last game that we looked at and this one? Because the last one you were a lot better about fixing your cutting points, and this one you're going nuts about attacking.
I think I was getting a bit frustrated because I was like 13Q at the beginning of last week, and then I lost, and then now I'm playing feeling I'm losing to a 15Q, and maybe I was not so
you were on tilt.
Yeah, not so thorough in my thinking about what I did.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, don't forget that you have a giant gap.
Yeah.
So it's okay to D-rank after a giant gap to get back into it. Honestly, if you have a gap, usually it's good to start 2 ranks weaker than what you were and work your way back up, just to get yourself back in practice. So
to look for opponents who are weaker.
I would just like if it was me, I would just make a new account and make it like 13Q or whatever and just work its way up. I don't know if you can specify it on OGS though. Usually when I'm thinking like that, I'm thinking on Fox. Like, okay, I'm coming back after a break, so I'll make like a 2 or 3 Dawn Fox account and then just work my way back up to 5 or 6 Dawn. Just to get myself back in practice, you know?
Yep.
So I wouldn't worry about deranking after a break. It's kind of normal. But this game looks like, yeah, I think you're on tilt. Because you're going crazy trying to attack instead of attacking from strength. Okay, bamboo is nice. I actually might play this one, and the difference is it takes a liberty. And the reason that can be important here is because this might be a capture race. And capture races, liberties are important. But again, I don't hate bamboo joints. Staying connected is great. I'm a big fan of connected stuff. Connect! Big fan of connections. Because these are cutting zones. This is still cuttable. That's why I said a diagonal earlier would have been nice. Like, this still has some cutting Aji.
And it will happen.
Yep. Lots of interesting reading there. Uh-oh. Also, this is following your opponent again. Let's assume that there's no issue. then go fix the center. You have a move in the center. Go fix it. You could develop the top, but defense first. So I think the center. So this move doesn't really do anything. It's also not connected. So you're not staying connected. You're not watching your cutting points. Not staying connected. Probably go. You probably go here, but I don't know. Just connect. Did you not notice this move? Because if you notice it, you should just give it up.
Yeah, and give up the other two. Yeah.
Oh no, you definitely got to notice it now. This is the crane's nest. Okay. Can't do this move. Definitely can't do that move.
Yeah. It's Salvatore, I know.
Yeah, at that point, probably just resign and take like 30-minute break. Like, okay, I'm playing Salvatare's now, and this is not going well. Fix your cut. Yeah, this one I mean, it's an 85-point loss, so of course I'm going to find a lot of things wrong with it. But the difference between this one and the last one is pretty much the cutting points. Do you kind of see the same, get the same feeling?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
much less solid than the other one.
So let's look at these were just a couple days ago. So let's look at this one, the 45. This one looks a bit faster, like 7.9 seconds. Okay, so on this one you are white. Oh, you're gonna ignore? I wouldn't recommend it at this level. Just get your base. You can do this, but it's just inviting complications. And complications at 15Q can get you killed. Yeah, you're supposed to go here next. Because you don't have a base. You need a base.
Yeah.
Because if I go right here, you don't have a base. And I do. Yeah, I think just fix. Just keep it simple. Need a base. Classy approach. This is a bit more though. Does this work? Did you check the cuts?
Not sure.
Okay, looks like you're okay. But typically you want to just slide.
Yep.
So remember, we got to keep track of those cuts now, because now you've given yourself a lot of Aji. Okay, I like this big move. Make a base, very nice. Get connected. Make shape. You can go here. It's fine. If they try to cut you, you just capture the number 2 stone. So they have to block like this, and then you can fix.
Yep.
But okay, you made your base, made eyes, looking good. Now we definitely need to get to the bottom. Don't need to be here. This is just picking the local moves. No idea what you're doing now, because you're playing a cuttable shape. Really try to avoid the pre-peeped 1-point jump. The pre-peeped 1-point jump is going to be the death of groups. This is a shape that I commonly see that gets cut off and things die. So I think just avoid this shape in general. Definitely push from this side. This side needs a base. And now you can attack pretty strongly. Sorry. Now it's a pretty nice attack. But now black makes a base while taking your base. Okay. Run away and Sente, you can jump. Jumps are nice. Uh-oh. What are we doing? What do you think is why do you think this is a mistake?
Because the opponent will cut me, and I'm not strong enough for the Hane.
Right. So if you play a cuttable shape from a weak group, that's a good way to invite complications and a good way to die. So if black cuts you right now, black has an eye and you do not. So the fight should go.
Extending or jumping would be better.
I think so. I think just jump and then side jump. Because now it's a tiger's mouth.
Yep.
Connect, very good. Shoulder hit as possible. Okay, you're making eye shape, so I don't really hate it. As long as you're staying connected, you're doing something that is positively affecting your life. Doesn't have to be the best move. Nice big move. Typically I say touch Nobi. It's just it avoids the cross-cut complications. I'm a big fan of reducing the odds of your groups dying. And so there's a lot of things that I would just say avoid. Unless you're the fighter type player, in which case you always want to go down those routes. But for the classy approach, we avoid them. Here, the shape is actually here. So first things first, we have a cutting point. We can fix it. But if we play like right here, now it's actually fixed as well. Because it's only 2 liberties. So if we know that, then we know this fixes the cutting point while also looking into black shape.
Yeah.
But here, do we have a plan? It looks complicated, right? Because now you have to block on this side. And technically, you're okay. If you can read 12 moves.
Yeah.
So I think this one's probably a blunder for 15Q. Just fix your cutting point.
Yep.
Otherwise, it requires you to read a lot more than you can read. This feels unnecessary. I think big move wise, I'm seeing that this chunk is getting large. So I want to deal with it. Here and then here. I think it's an idea. It's something, it's value. Notice how you're only getting 2 lines at a time with every move.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a pretty bad exchange rate. Careful. Uh-oh. Okay, just as long as the group doesn't die. Yeah, okay. I think there were safer ways to go about this, but all of your moves made sense of you trying to fix your shape. So all the moves made sense. Okay, you've got to get to the center area and then endgame. Yeah, so this is not getting to the big framework. There we go. No, 2 spaces cuttable. Kind of like a Knight's Move in Hane, a 2 spaces cuttable. You got a 1 space. You got to respect the cutting points. Hey, you should die. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, I did.
Okay. What if you go right here? If they cut you, you can capture the cutting stone.
Oh, okay.
Almost. Not quite, though. Your opponent did give you a chance. It's kind of funny. Oh, they're so close. You go right here. They have to go right here. Because this is a Salvatore. And then here, take here, there. And this is so close to life. So I'm wondering if I can go here, and then I go here, and I go here. I go here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. I can't make it work. So close. I feel like there's a go problem here, but I can't find it.
Yeah, the 2-space jump just wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
It got me into the trouble.
That's the conclusion. Okay, and your opponent started in-game at good timing, and your opponent is good at in-game. Does this work? What does this move do? So immediately I'm asking, I go here,
Yeah.
what is the follow-up?
Yeah.
Did you just guess?
I guess I was playing too quickly and not thinking enough.
Hmm.
But I think
But
I could even
your
connect
opponent
because he
got tricked,
didn't.
so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember all your cutting points way back when? What if black goes right here?
Mm.
And right here? Right here? Oops.
Wait for it.
Oops.
Yeah.
And this is because the pre-peeped 1-point jump. Speaking of pre-peeped 1-point jumps, this now works. I didn't notice it activating. Yeah, speaking of pre-peeped 1-point jumps. Speaking of pre-peeped 1-point jumps. Just start fixing stuff.
Yeah.
Get all your
I
problems out
didn't
of the way.
realize these pre-peeped 1-point jumps that I was playing them so often. Wasn't aware of that.
In this game, you are. Another move that is getting you cut. Both of these moves just don't make sense to me. Like, I'm not sure how you're arriving at this conclusion. Yeah, I think you're just like throwing stones on the board and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't even. There's no follow up. Even it doesn't even look like you checked. You just placed it. I think you're right. It's playing too fast. Oh, was it? Oh! It was a co-thread. Is that what it was? But it's not. It's not your turn for the co-thread. It's not your turn for the co-thread. But that's the only thing that I can guess.
Yeah.
Also, the co-thread would be here. Don't lose points for co-threads.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm trying to find meaning in this move, but it's just a mistake. This cutting point has no follow-up. You're playing a lot of moves,
useless moves
that are just dead in the end game in this game. So don't overextend yourself in the end game. Don't overextend yourself in the end game, because it looks like in this game you have a very bad habit of just placing stones and assuming it's going to work out without checking the cutting points at all.
Yep.
So this is interesting. These two games, your cutting points were not good at all, but this game, your cutting points were almost perfect. Notice the difference in score. Notice the difference in the scores. So I'm actually going to reword my notes. Please get off my computer. We looked at 2 more games, and the cutting points in those were not as good. So maybe like you learned your lesson, and then in this game you're like, okay, I'm just not going to get cut. And it turned out a lot better.
Yeah.
So maybe you're just learning from your mistakes. Look at this really quick. 10 seconds move. Looks like, yeah, your average time per move is good. Get off my computer. Okay. 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 You want to go high because you're developing.
Mhm.
Max pressure. Max pressure. Don't be soft. That Shinobi. This is because you need to gain liberties. Your opponent has taken a liberty. 3 liberties or less, where Tasujis happen. So 3 liberties or less are where Tasujis happen. This is dangerous. Nobody down here is fine because the second line is fine if you're stealing a base or ice base,
Okay.
and in this case you are. And this
Yep.
one's fine. Oops. You don't have the
Mhm.
liberties for Hane. Ah, touch. Oops. Okay, you gave it up. Fix the cuts. We check the Hane. Da 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 da. It is a ladder. That's fine. But we actually don't need to do anything. White's alive.
Mhm.
So fix our cut and move on. Fix the cut and move on to a big move. We are not attacking if white is alive. Okay. What if I decide to cut? Okay, if you fix your cuts, very good. You didn't fix the cut, because now if I go here, you connect, I go here, you're cut. So I really want to drive this habit home of just fix your cuts. And then we can slowly figure out which cuts are cuttable, which cuts are not. Right? We'll slowly adjust as we get stronger. But the habit, I think, is important. Okay. Fine. Why are we back over here? What does this move do? Just try to make a base. I would just focus on making a base. You're on your opponent's side of the board, you need life. I don't know what this move does, but it's on the second line. Okay, I mean, you made a base. You don't need this move to do it, but I guess you're worried about the shape. But I think the attachment's okay. If the thing is, if you play the high approach, you need to know about the attachment. Because this crosscut has a lot of ways that black can live. Because black gets to squeeze the 2 stones. And since it's white's corner, it's pretty nice. If you don't like that, then just low approach. Low approach is easier to handle.
Okay.
Yep, we check the cut. Dot, 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 dot. We're good. Good, keep our base. Ignore. Okay, I think you're trying to play this move.
Mm.
I think that's what you
Mhm.
were after. Okay, so
Yep.
not a bad
Better.
plan. Again, jump is nice, but not a bad
I
plan.
just start building boxes. Yeah.
Very nice. Punish your opponent's Tanuki. Very good. Perfect right there. Watch your cuts. Perfect. Okay, this is where we're going to focus on defense first. We're not going to go for the kill when we have a weak group. Perfect. You're playing really well right here.
Yeah, the next sequence is funny.
This one's
I
bad.
remember that one.
This one's not good. You're forcing your opponent to fix a cut. Cut right here works.
Ah. Mhm.
There's actually a connection to Suji right here.
Ah, yeah, I see.
So you actually have a connection here. Also, at some point, we should probably go after this capture race. But I think here's going to be better. But this is not obvious on the reading. Yeah, this one I think helps your opponent. Okay, that's fine. Defense first. Did you consider this move?
I don't think so. I thought that the white stones at Q and R11 are dead, and that I can extend my group to the left-hand side. So, but
R11?
what do
Oh,
you
these
mean?
three?
Are you attacking the empty triangle there, or what is it?
I'm cutting off this group.
Mm.
I'm just looking at cutting points. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had a chance to surround that one. Yeah.
Even if white lives, it's still massive value for you.
Okay.
Make sure I didn't self Atari, and that's because I've been known to do that on a camera. Self Atari in the middle of a sequence. I'm like, yeah, this is totally the move. Yeah, even if white lives, it's still really good for you. Always Atari from the outside, because sometimes in a co-fight, you'll just sacrifice these. Rarely, but you don't know if that'll happen or not. Maybe there's a game-deciding co, in which case these don't matter. In that case, you would sacrifice 5 instead of 6.
Yep.
So always Atari it from the outside. Okay, your attack on the right was really, really good. I like it. You're getting profit now. You're doing quite well. Yeah, this is all going great. This one's starting to become Gote, though. I think now it's time to turn and attack these. And then... maybe in-game. I don't know. I would just start pushing stuff. Just start pushing borders. I don't know. This one's not necessary. It's already blocked. Makes sense?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know what this string of stones is doing now. You're actually giving white 2 points with every single move. 2, 2, 2, 2. But you're getting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I think you're just being happy making sticks. Don't do that. Don't make sticks for the sake of making sticks. Yeah, that was a little bit silly.
Yeah, I was thinking he can chase me towards the left-hand side because I was connected via his dead 3-stone group on the right-hand side. So I thought, okay, so I can continue walking there. But you're right, I don't make any profit.
Yeah.
The stick. Yeah.
Yeah, walking all day long is fine, but walking in a circle isn't going to get you very far. Okay. This connects everything.
Mm-hmm.
This cuts all of the white stones, which might kill white. No, it's not going to kill white because white has a second eye. But still, nice to know, nice to know. Okay, this is pushing borders, that's fine. That is overplay. We are at the end of the game. This is like one of those, I'm going to lose the game, so I may as well try something. This technically should die. This is another one. Okay, stop doing all this endgame fancy whatever you're doing, because you just keep throwing points at your opponent. All you have to do is just basic reduction moves. So maybe just go here, 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 here. Just do simple reduction moves. This is worth like 40 or 50 points, just doing it correctly. But compare that to like here, and how many points did you lose?
Mm.
Actually, no. Here, because your opponent could have just killed your stones. Anyway, you keep throwing like 5 points at your opponent at a time at the end of the game. And your opponents will sometimes fall for it, but it's not a good strategy. Okay, do you know how to kill this? You do! Yay! All right. I would just block the escape route. I think it's the safest. Okay, good, 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 good. A little dangerous, little dangerous. Reduce, and it's a bulky 5. But we'll see how this goes. Okay, you're still good. You're still good. Very nice. Good life and death. Good life and death. Yeah, your attack on the right and the top is very nice. The attack on the left was a little not good. That's a chicken move. Obviously, blocking here is better. It's 1 more point. And you don't have to block at all, because you're fine. Fix this. This has been annoying me. Okay, questions. What in the world? What's wrong with this move? Yeah. I think you lose like 20, 30 points in the end game alone. Yeah, don't go crazy. Just play simple in game, and you'll get a lot of value.
Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed looking at the chart of the win rate percentage that I started losing games after move 80 or 100. Not this one, but when I lose, I usually lose after move 80.
Yeah, I think you're trying to be too fancy at the end. Don't be fancy. Just be comfortable with the game being close and just finish the game. Let your opponents go nuts. Like your opponent went nuts on the top side and the corner, and you killed them just fine. Let them go nuts. You don't go nuts. I think the homework is a good starting point. I'm still going to assign another 50 connect plus 50 cut. Your corner life and death look good. Your squeeze look good. I don't know. It really depends on the game if your cutting points are good or not. So make that more consistent. When your cutting points are good, you do a lot better. So make that more consistent. Any other questions?
No, thank you very much. I took a couple of notes, and yeah, good suggestions. I will try to keep it in mind.
All right,
in the
cool.
next games.
All right. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you when I see you.
Thank you, Klaus. Bye-bye.
Okay, hopefully everyone enjoyed that. And of course, thank you, Amaranth, for the sub. If you're interested in getting lessons with me like the one you just saw, if you like my teaching style and want to consider lessons, you can do so here. I do recommend the bundle packs. I think it's the most value. That way I have more than just one lesson with you, because I can give you pointers, but yeah, typically it's going to be better to have more than just one lesson with the teacher. So if you like my teaching style and want to do it, please consider, because I do teach Go for a living, so it helps me out. And then, of course, we have Sumego Dragon, which I work on full time. I will admit the last week or two, I have been slacking considerably, mostly because I don't want to break anything. I think the site's at a really good point. I also really need a break. I am really kind of burning out, and I want to balance still working on the site while also not going nuts 50 hours a week, 50, 60 hours a week. So I'm kind of like backing up a bit because I really like where the site's at right now. I think it's nice and stable. money-wise, it's not expensive. I have Paige to thank for pointing out all the expenses, and that has reduced my cost by like $200. Thanks to Paige pointing out where they are, I was able to track them down and fix them. Because noob mistakes are expensive. Yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying that site as well. Speaking of Sumego Dragon, let's go ahead and look at the league. We'll probably review 2 games, I think. So if you are here and you are in the league, let me know, and I can pick your game. Unless Paige has reviewed it. Okay. Onigofuchi doesn't have a dragon. How dare. They're in first place, but they don't have a dragon. We have Aspen versus G $. White's won by resignation. Ooh, Aspen lost. Okay. Then not many others. I think I want to leave Aspen for Paige because Aspen's been getting lessons from Paige. So I think that would be more consistent teaching-wise. Yeah, I really want these, the players at the bottom to play their games because I think these are the DDQ sections and they're all roughly around the same level, more or less. I think these would be really good value for them. But I just got to get them to play their games. Looks like a bit of a slow week this week. I was sick last week, so I wasn't able to look. So I'm not sure how everyone did last week. I got really sick for like 2 or 3 days. So I did not review any games last week or even look at this site for a couple days. I was literally like in the bed complaining all day about how awful I felt. Okay, maybe we'll just do open reviews. We can just do open reviews then. Anyone here want a review? Nice. I'm leaving you Aspen's game because I think it would be better for you to review it than me. So I am not reviewing this one. I don't know if you have or not. But Aspen lost to Gavin. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I did not review anything last week. I was sick. For 3 days. 2 days I was in the bed. The third day I was recovering and I'm like, I'm not working. for 3 days, I'm like, screw Sumego Dragon. I'm dying. So hopefully nothing breaks. Because I'm like, if something breaks, we're just going to figure it out in 3 days. Because I felt awful. Oh my gosh. It was awful. Yeah, it was not fun. This week I had intended to do it today, but there's not enough games. So I think I'm going to do open reviews for the people who are here. So if someone has a game they would like to review, we can look at it. I'm also trying to get myself to stream more. We're trying to find a good point to do it because I really need to stream more to help Sumego Dragon and get my lessons up and running again. Because I have not been focusing on my lessons at all because I've been putting all of my effort into Sumego Dragon, which I like Sumego Dragon, but also like I need my lesson count to go back up to what it was. It'd be very helpful to have students again. So I got to get that up and going. Yeah, I think I like how much you're streaming. I don't think I could stream as much as you're streaming. Not doing with Sumego Dragon on top of it. The big thing for us is I'm trying to balance her job with my job. And so finding a good window to stream and also still hitting like a good amount of runs is quite difficult. Yeah. You play so many games. Like, it's exhausting watching you sometimes. I'll have you like on my iPad, like the volume turned down a bit, just letting you play. And I'll be coding, right? And you'll just be in my peripheral vision. And it's exhausting sometimes to me to just watch because I am just not in a good space to study the game because I'm working so much. Hey, thank you for the gift subs.
We reached our subs goal of 40. Thank you everyone. Emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super emote underscore Colossi super.
Nice. Nice.
The Amarants gifted 20 subscriptions. The first person to say Colossi lessons gets 2 lessons.
You heard it here, folks. The first one to say it gets 2 lessons. Yeah, I will say one thing I liked. I kind of cut back on it a little bit this month, but I love having a marketing budget because I love gifting subs. I love gifting subs so much. I cut it back a little bit this month because this month I was focusing a lot on reducing cost. But yeah, thank you so much. Like I legit thought it was 10 and then it said 20 and I was like, oh. But yeah, I'll donate 2 lessons to someone in chat. Yeah, Emirates is crazy. Where's the third one? So it was me, Dwyron, and Paige? Craziness. Yeah, when I was preparing for, I think, no, it wasn't Chicago. I was preparing for the Tennessee State, the first Tennessee State, and what I did was I just played 10 games a day. Yeah. I will say I did not play it as funsies as you are. Like, I didn't play the Dragon Enclosure or anything. I legit just sat there and I'm saying I'm playing 10 games. Yeah, I would for 2 months straight, I just played 10 games a day. I think I played 200 games. The goal was 200 games in 2 months. Maybe it was like 200 games in a month and a half. I forget. This was years ago, but that's what I did to prepare for the tournament. So I know how much effort it takes to play those Dawn games. And I'm just watching you do it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so exhausting just to watch. Yeah. Because I've done it. I know how exhausting that is. And I just don't have the stamina lately to improve myself. Yeah, it's exhausting. I remember in Korea, we would just spend, like, the first week when I was in Korea, my brain died. Week number 2, I could not play for squat. Yeah, when I went to Korea, the first week of just you live and go now, that first week was exhausting. It was like 10 hours a day of nothing but thinking. Oh, are you playing Aspen right now? Yeah, so treat it as a teaching game. So I told Aspen to, because Buzzsaw played Aspen played Buzzsaw last week. There's just not enough people up here. Too many of them went on break. Too many of them went on break. So, and there's a giant gap between right here and like down here. Not to mention Aspen's underrated because he's been playing on Fox. I've been telling him to get his rank up because he's too low rated. But Paige has been telling him to play on Fox, and I'm like, yes, I agree, but also this number is annoying. Oh, nice. Did he do that today? Gavin needs to freaking simplify the game. Gavin's game is much stronger than Austin's for like 80%. Oh. He touched 3 on. See, I would believe you, but I'm a big believer of freaking do it and show me that you can do it. So I don't doubt that he could be 3 on. I don't doubt it. But he refuses to do it. He refuses to keep it and hold it. And I'm like, just do it. Yeah, nice. So they're both getting lessons from you? I didn't realize they were both getting lessons. Did you ever figure out a solution to go to the tournament? You kept going like back and forth and like, I don't know. I don't remember the last thing you said about it. But you kept, I'm not sure if you found a dog sitter or not to go to the Chicago. Unfortunate. Oh my gosh, Ko's at the end. Anyone who's like, oh, 1 point Ko doesn't matter, has not lost enough half-point games. Well, it's my job to go to tournaments and try to sell books. So we are planning to go to all of them. All the ones that I can afford, I'm planning to go. At some point, I'd love to play. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, at some point, I would love to play the game. Right now, I really want my income to be more stable. It is not at the number that I want it to be yet. And then once it's at the number that I want, then I'll allow myself to start playing. And I think when I start playing, I'm just going to start playing like 5 to 10 games a day. That's what I'll just do. 5 to 10 games a day, 100 Go proms a day, 200 Go proms a day. I don't know. That's what I'm going to do when I get back into it. Right now, I can't code all day and then also play a 6-on right after that. My brain just breaks. I have been doing quite well in the league, though. I'm pretty happy with my performance so far. I gotta lose the old Baidook again, though, at some point. I didn't pair myself this week because I figured it would be better for me to just make up these matches. Because I told my opponent we were scheduled to play, and I sent him a message, and I'm like, I'm not playing. I'm horribly sick. And then I closed the computer. I'm like, this is not a conversation. I sent a message to him, and then I shut the computer off, and I'm like, I'm not having a conversation. I feel like crap, and you're lucky you even got a notification out of me. I pretty much said, I'm sick, I cannot play. I'm like really, really sick. So yeah, I did not play games last week. So I've just said, I'm going to play these again. I'm going to do the same pairings for myself. Because I need to play the ones instead of just missing it. I guess sleepy kitties. Sleepy kitties on the bed. I pair the players myself. I have a spreadsheet and I do the best I can. I did not want to build a whole system for a free league. I didn't want to get on to all the math or any of that. I'm like, just keep it simple. This is not the main feature of the site. So I tried to keep it super simple. And then I also did the pairings manually, so I don't have to worry about it. The problem is, I don't think it's the pairing method. I think it's the amount of players there are. Because I'm trying to make sure the pairings aren't too different while also trying to minimize duplicates. Like, I'll show you. I'll show you my pairing method. That is not it. Okay, so here's my pairing method, right? So this one is all we had this time to pair because I'm not pairing the bottom ones since they're not playing their games. So I'll take it, and here's the reason, Paige, that you constantly have similar matchups. You're at the very top. You only have 4 or 5 people to play. Well, that's because I wasn't in the same division. I tried to keep the divisions separate when I could. But if you go down divisions, then you end up like what we're getting now, where you have Aspen facing Amaranths and Aspen facing Buzzsaw the week before. Because there's just, it's too much of a gap. And I try to avoid that, but players have been going on break, so we're running into that now. I just did it by 6. I just did the top 6, second top 6, third top 6, and then I had the bottom. And that's how I just color coded it. And then because you have no one above you, it's a lot less people to go up and down. So like these 3, like I can get paired against the bottom 3 because I'm at the top 3. I can go down or I can go up. Well, it's the rank that they entered as. It's their OGS rank. That's why I keep telling them to fix their rank. Like I don't know what to do. It's just what your OGS rank was, and then I'm like, just win, and your rank will go up. Like legit, you could rank up in 2 weeks. So in like 1 month, Gavin could have easily been up here. I think Gavin lost, though. Gavin kept losing. I think... Okay, so Gavin lost to Kite. Gavin and Kite did play. Oh, Gavin skipped a lot of games. That's why he's not ranking up. Lost to me in Austin. Okay, well, this is why Gavin's not ranking up. Yeah, I know. Kite is a really... We had a nice match. I had a nice match against Kite and against Positive, Tony Gafucci. I was really happy with the games that I played in the last couple weeks. But going back to you, if I pair you down in the blue, you're going to just destroy people. So I have no choice. Like there's not enough people stronger than you. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, it was just 3 or 4 people. And I tried not to pair you back to back because it's 2 games a week, mind you, 2 games a week. And you only have like 4 to 5 people before you start getting into like 5 rank gaps. Or maybe it wasn't 5. I think it's 5 down here. The rank gaps down here are much worse than up here. Yeah, down here the rank gaps are giant. You're talking like 15 ranks between Bill and Neslar. Okay, 10 ranks, I'm sorry. 10 ranks. Anyway, that's my pairing method. I use a spreadsheet and I go down and then I go up. And then I try to avoid repeating what was the week before. That's my thing. Down, up, avoid repeating the week before. Six rank gaps. Well, I try to reduce the rank gaps as much as I can because I'm going off of this number. This number is the rank. And so I separate them by the rank. Yeah, by all means, it's free, and 2 people are doing reviews right now. But it goes by this number right here, and this number moves every time you win or lose. The number goes up or down. So I try really hard to reduce the difference in rank as best I can, but it's either I get duplicates or I get giant rank gaps, and sometimes I'll get similar duplicates from 2 weeks ago and decent rank gaps. Right now we have the fridge full is the lowest. We have what is that? 6 on or 3 or 4 on OGS? 2187 to fridge full, which is 1100. So literally 10 ranks for 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 people. It's a rank difference per person. I'm more wondering why this list isn't longer, considering. I did stop talking about it as much, because you can see how it went from this, and it's now this. So it's been slowly shrinking, and it's because I'm not talking about it as much. I legit thought I would lose a lot more than I am. Like, I'm almost 1 Q on OGS, okay? My rank games and my league games are completely different for some reason. It's not my fault. I mean, it is my fault, but it's not because I'm intentionally doing it. My rank and my league are very different performance right now. It's not from lack of trying. It really is. It really is. I can pull 6th on Fox, but I can't pull 2 on OGS. Yeah. I will say, I think there's a nice range right here where a lot of these players are around the same level. Paige, you're just too daggum strong, and I take your complaints about your matches. I'm like, well, that's what you get for being stronger than literally everyone else. Well, if you weren't stronger than the entire league, then maybe you'd have more matches. I could pair you with people stronger than you even. Oh no, I want you to play. I'm just saying you think my pairing system's not the greatest. It's actually quite difficult. It's quite difficult to pair people and not have duplicates as often as I am. Maybe I should reduce it to 1 game a week. I really liked people playing 2 games a week, but maybe I might just reduce it to 1 a week. It might be better to do that. Because there's just not enough people for 2 a week. Yeah, I might do that. I might start that in November. Just lower it to 1 a week. That would make the pairings a lot less repeatable. To be fair, the time commitment is not as great as you might think it is. It's the scheduling commitment that's the issue. Because we all can make time for 1 Go game, to be fair. It's, can we make time while also scheduling, while also making the time and the time that is available to the other person? Because that's what makes it difficult. It's the scheduling process is a little consuming as well. But if, like, you guys have ideas on how to make the league easier on people, by all means. I know there's Calendly, but I'm trying to avoid third-party software, requiring third-party software. Yeah, Amaranth is great like that. I'm trying to avoid third-party software if I could, but yeah, I think I'll start that after Chicago. I don't want to make any giant changes right now, considering right now we're just focusing on getting some money. Like I'm reducing expenses. We're working a lot for DoorDash, and just get some money for the tournament. And then after that, I can start taking some risk again, a little bit more risk. But my risk is going into the marketing more than anything. I think the site's at a pretty stable point. So development-wise, I'm going to be doing bug fixing. I'm going to be polishing a lot. I have no idea what to do with the campaign. I'm very excited. I hope it's really going well for you. As a fellow maker living in the Go community person, I hope it's going well for you. But yeah. I really don't like the campaign looks right now, but I have no idea what to do about it. So on Mega Dragon, the campaign with the books and the problem sets and the playing the bosses, I think it's going real. I think the function of it is really good. I love it. I just need to keep writing books. I'm trying to get the balancing better between 19Q and 10Q, or 19Q and 14Q. There's a little bit of a gap that I need to balance better. But overall, the functionality of it, I think, is fantastic. I love it. But I think visually it can be improved quite a bit. And I'm just not design savvy enough to improve it properly. I think visually, the visuals can be improved quite a bit. I just don't have any good ideas, you know? But that's one of the polishing things that I want, is I want to make it look nicer. The boss fights were taking too long. I have mixed feelings about this. Because on the one hand, the entire point is to help you improve. So you have to do both Go problems and play games. On the other hand, playing a game takes a lot longer than doing Go problems. So, I don't know. I don't know how to balance that. But I don't think not having the bots is the answer. But I don't know what else to do about it. I'm not sure if I want to like maybe something I could do is like you don't have to play the boss to move on, but I feel like that would be cheating. But maybe just not having 3 stars would be enough incentive to play the games. Yeah, maybe not requiring the bots. Well, it would still have to be 3 games, because you got to think from a non-Don player perspective. The double-digit queues, who are likely going to get the most benefit out of it, do need the practice. And they don't have a lot of opponents at like 20Q. There's just not a lot. But not requiring it might be the better answer. I'll consider that. I'll definitely consider that. Because it's not the first complaint that I've had. They're like, I've played this guy, Gabi, sometimes. I've played them like 10 times and I cannot win. And because of that, I cannot move on. And I'm like, that's not an experience that I want to happen. But also, like, it's also Gabi. And I feel so awful. But Gabi's just this beginner killer, I swear. Oh man, it's the little 25Q killer. It's so funny. And I've even had a starting position where it's actually giving you every advantage that could give you without the bot immediately resigning. Like, I consider giving the beginner 2 stones, but the bot immediately resigns. It's like, I can't win this. But it's a 5x5 with no Comey, and you have a good, solid starting position, in theory. I don't know. But Gavi is a beginner killer, man. He wins so many games. And I find that hilarious. When I first got him, when I first created him, I was like, is he too weak? This is going to be like, this is a 5x5. How do you lose? And I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. He's a stepping stone. So it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be weak. And it was the weakest spot that I had. I could do that, but I don't think I want to do that. I'm fine. Like, that's how I'm adding the handicap, is I'm actually having it start from a specific position. So I manually type in the moves for position. But the entire point is to get turning players into Go players, playing the game. So the more that I do where they're not actually playing the game, the less they are actually being a Go player. If that made any sense. I don't know if that made sense. But my entire point is I want them to enjoy playing the game and help them play it better. Like, that's the whole point. I want 20 Qs and 10 Qs, and I want them to play the game and play it better. That is kind of the goal of the campaign, is you're a Go player now, and I'm slowly guiding you up to the competitive level, which arguably is like 10, maybe 15Q. You could probably say 15Q is competitive. 15Q 19x19 is competitive. So I have to guide a 25Q to 15Q with the first few campaign stages. And then for the Dawn players, I want to give a bunch of like categorized puzzles. I'm being very specific. Like the corner life and death. I have a lot for single digit Q, but not a lot for Dawn players yet. I'm sorry, Everett. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, I'm assuming you're talking about the game against Aspen. Yeah, I think the Semego Dragon campaign is not really great for Dawn players right now. I think it could be improved for Dawn players, for sure. Problem is, Dawn players are like 1% of the user base. So I can't focus on it. But I am working my way up. Also, I am a Dawn player, so it's quite difficult for me to make the campaign for Dawn players. I have to figure out what puzzles that I struggle with and add those to a set, and then add that set to the stages. Yeah, I wish the bots were not so time consuming. Which, fun fact, as a person designing a gaming experience, 19x19 Go is not great. Because if you take 9x9 Go, or even 13x13, but arguably 9x9, 9x9 with squares is squares for stones, because it makes a lot more sense to 25 Qs, trust me. Square stones, 9x9, let that be the whole game. That is a better video game than 19x19 with circles. 19x19 with circles, though, is a lot deeper and is a lot more fun for the analytical mind. But as far as a game, for everyone, especially people that aren't as analytical, or computer sciencey, because a lot of computer scientists love Go. But the like average Joe, average person, 9x9 is a lot more fun for them. The average board game player, like not just chess, but like Ticket to Ride. I don't play a lot of these. Unfortunately, I can't name a lot of them. Ticket to Ride, D&D. What I have several on Catan, I think. There's this one fantasy one that we enjoyed as well at the Board Game Lounge. But these sort of Alto Adventure. These sort of like regular board game players, I think, would enjoy 9x9 a lot more than 19x19. And that's a hard thing to balance. That is a hard thing to balance. Because it's like, yeah, I want to give a good gaming experience, but also for those who want to take it a step further and go to 19x19, I have to have a nice transition as well. And then once you're at 19x19, I have to help you improve beyond that as well. So it's a difficult balance. But yeah, as far as just generic games are concerned, my success metric is players playing Go and enjoying it. I don't care if they're playing 5x5, 19x19, or whatever. I am not trying to create professional players. I'm not even trying to create Dawn players with Sumego Dragon. I want to assist your ability to become a Dawn if you so choose to. I want to be there for you to use to get to Dawn if you want to use it to be a Dawn player or a high Dawn or whatever. I want to give you the tools to succeed. But I don't necessarily need you to be a Dawn player. I want you to enjoy playing the game and slowly improving at the game. Like, that's what I want, is I want you to enjoy playing Go. I want you to enjoy the whole game experience. So for me, people playing the game and having fun is a success metric. And according to my analytics, it's going well. Because looking at my analytics, I don't know. Go away. According to my analytics, the highest time spent is on the play page. 20 minutes on average. And the highest spent is on the play page. So, assuming that is, a good experience, then I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I want you to enjoy playing and improving at the game. This is going down, by the way, because I specifically turned off a bunch of marketing stuff. So this is well within expectations. This is max marketing budget. This is minimal marketing budget. Well within expectations. What would you think is the highest priority, though, if you were teaching 100 Go players, or 100 people Go? I agree with you. That was my reasoning as well. I think 19x19 is intimidating for a new Go player. I think 19x19 is not necessary if they're going to play it for like 5 hours or less and never pick it up again. But my goal is if you're playing Go and enjoying the process and you want to play Go again, I think that's good. I have taught thousands and thousands of people how to play Go. And I have learned that 99.99% of them will never play it again. So I don't care if they play one game on a 19x19. I care if they enjoy playing the game enough to play a second game. And they usually play a lot more 9x9 than 19x19. Because 19x19 is exhausting. They don't even know how to finish the game and they're playing 19x19. I've seen that. I have taught people that. And even 9x9 arguably is too big for me. I start them on 5x5, and this is what I love. 9x9, we teach at anime conventions. We'll teach them on 9x9. They'll play one game, sometimes two. But I've taught people on a 5x5, and I get like 10 games out of them before they're done. Before they're like, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna go do something else now. Like I get like 10 games out of them, and they're losing most of them, right? Because they're playing Gavi and stuff. But they enjoy it. They enjoyed it so much more. They played so many more games. And I think I got them to sit down longer with 5x5. And at Go Club, we actually have a couple new players. And I have been showing them a level up system. And I'm like, because they want to win. And they're not going to be able to beat me on a 19x19. It's just not going to happen, right? They're freaking 30 Qs. They're not going to win on a 19x19. So I wanted them to be able to beat me. And I'm like, what do they need so they can win and level up? And what I came up with was I started them on 5x5 and I gave them like 2 stones. And then when they beat me, I started them with 3 stones. They took them a couple games, but they did beat me with 3 stones pretty quickly. Then they beat me with 2 stones, and then they beat me in an even game on 5x5 where they were black. And I did not have any Komi. Then we went up to 9x9 and I gave them 9 stones. And then once they beat with 9, 8, and then 7, once they beat me with 7 stones, we went to 13x13. And I said, here's 9, 8, and 7. Once you beat me at 7 stones, we're going to go up to 19x19. One has now gotten there after several weeks. They're up to 19x19 with 9 stones. But the other one's still at 7 stones on 13x13. And from what I can tell, they enjoy it a lot more because it feels like every week they're leveling up. Every single week, it feels like, oh, I've gotten 1 rank stronger. I think that is a very positive feedback loop, in my opinion. Versus the crazy guy that's been streaming that only plays Dawn players and is on the 1918, and they're like, I'm going to be single-digit Q before I ever play a Q player. And I'm like, that sounds miserable. like that's what he enjoys, so more power to him, but that sounds miserable. That's like Dark Souls on steroids, man. That sounds like awful. I like Dark Souls as much as the next hardcore player, but dadgum, never winning a single fight like 200 times in a row. Dude, I was stuck at 2Q for like 10 months. Not improving definitely can harm your love for the game. I definitely understand that. I thought about quitting a couple times when I was 2Q as well. But at the end of the day, what you got to realize is if you're not enjoying playing the game, then why are you playing it? You can't play it only to improve. Like, obviously, that should be a big factor. If you enjoy getting better at something, yes. But you also should enjoy, like, trying out new things. You should enjoy learning a new Joseki, learning a new life and death shape. Like, you should enjoy that whole process. You should enjoy playing friends at Go Club stuff. But I was stuck at 2Q for like 10 months. It was awful. That was the hardest rank for me to get past, was 2Q. And then 1Q I was stuck, but for not as long. And then finally, oh my gosh, I finally got to Dawn level. I got to 4Q so fast, but I was stuck at 2Q for 10 dega months. Oh, I was so tilted. I do agree. I would have been 1 Dawn in 1 year if I didn't have the mental barrier that I did. I had some mental barriers that prevented me from getting 1 Dawn, and I had to work through those before I finally got it. I think certain types of people can start on 19 by 19, and I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that a majority of human beings, regular people, cannot do that. I think they would not enjoy it as much. So for the hardcore types, the hardcore type mindsets, the computer scientist type people, I think those types can start on 19 by 19 just fine. But I think a majority of people probably are not those types. Yeah, it's a crazy. And then also, you can't even measure it by years. You have to measure it by the amount of games you've played. So if we're talking 1,000 hours to 1 dan. Let's see, 1,000 hours to 1 dan. Let's say you play 2 games an hour. That's 2,000 games to 1 dan. 2,000. And that's if you're doing it super efficiently. Like, some people struggle harder than others because you have mental barriers that you got to work through. And people have different mental barriers. So it's not like, oh, just do this and you're over it. I don't think time is a good measurement. I think it really depends on how much time you can invest into it. Like, 1 year could be like an hour a day or 10 hours a day. Right? Like, it doesn't, like, the amount of time that's passed is not the same for everyone. I think there's too much emphasis on 1 dan. I really actually hate the rank. I think there is somewhere between 2Q and 1 dan, there is a certain perfection that happens, perfection of basics. But I think having it be a dan instead of a Q makes it seem a lot more special than it is. I think if you can get to 5Q, you're already really strong. Once you get past 5Q, it gets drastically harder to improve. Visually. Like, you still improve at the same rate. Like, it doesn't stop. It's a lot heavier of a rank past 5Q. Because the gravity of 1 point becomes greater the stronger you are. At some point, that 1 point is a lot harder to overcome, because it's like at 30Q, you can overcome a rank, let's say rank is 6 points, by learning 1 concept. But at 2Q, you have to learn like 100 concepts. Or not even 100 concepts. You have to know your 100 concepts, and you can't mess up a single one for 200 moves in a row. I think you likely have everything you need to be 1 dan. If you're 2Q, 1Q, you have almost everything you need to be 1 dan. You have all of the dan level moves. The problem is, you will mess up one of your basics 2 or 3 times in 200 moves. It's not even like you're doing it a lot. It's like 2 out of 200 moves. You'll make a 10Q mistake, right? You have to perfectly play your Q level basics 200 moves in a row every single game to get to dan level. Dan players are just perfect Q players. That's all it is. It's not that we have more knowledge or anything. Like, on some levels it is. Like, if you just know your stuff, sure. But a lot of the time is you are making a below your level mistake at some point in the game, and it's just really hard to juggle 100 things of knowledge at the same time. Yeah. A 1 dan needs to know 1,000 things at the same time, and you can't mess up a single one. 10Q maybe needs to know 100 things at the same time, and you can't mess up a single one. So it's like literally 10 times harder. In theory. It's a theoretical mindset. Yeah, the gravity of a move, a gravity of a point, exponentially increases the stronger you get. Even if you're improving at the exact same rate. If it makes you feel better, Amaranth, I have crushed Aspen 100+ times in a row. Okay. The reason he's as strong as he is because he went through a lot of losses against me. He literally would spend, from the time he got home from work to the time he went to bed, for like months, he would just play me over and over. And then I would just constantly kill him over and over. And I'm like, stop dying. Stop dying. You got cut. You missed the cutting point. And so we play another game. He would miss a cutting point. We play another game. He'd miss a cutting point. Play another game. He messed up a life and death problem. Play another game. I tricked him with a 3-pronged attack because it's 9 stones a lot of the time. So I just played him like 100 times in a row. And he just lost a lot more. So if it makes you feel better, he's gone through it just as much as you have. Whatever you're feeling, he has felt it as well. Losing is the best teacher, but it's also very difficult to do. Losing is the best teacher, winning is the best practice. You need both to improve. I don't think you can only lose to improve. Yeah. There's a lot of mental game and go. And this is a lot more apparent 5Q to 1 Dan. A lot of the times, if you're stuck 5Q to 1 Dan, it might be a mental barrier that you have to overcome. And it's really, really difficult to overcome it. That perfection of basics. Don't rush. Don't get on tilt. Don't get angry. Calmly accept your mistakes. And maximize the Aji. Like, that Zen level of mentality is really hard. It's really hard to get to. But I think mastering your weaknesses is part of the process. And it's really hard. That perfect discipline. And even then, like, I'm not even a pro. You can imagine how like sharp they are and how much mental strength that they have. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. I will shout this out one more time. I do have 2 lessons to give away if someone wants it, thanks to Amaranth's gift subs. You do need to be a Q player, preferably. Yeah. I just had a lesson with someone this week about resigning too early. And I'm like, have you ever thought the reason you're not winning a lot is because you resign half of your games that you're not done with? Maybe that's a contributing factor. That can be a contributing factor to your win-loss ratio, is if you're resigning more than you should be. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here and probably get back to our other job. But shout out to my lessons. I do teach Go for a living. If you're interested in that, please check it out. And then, of course, if you want to practice on some Mega Dragon, you can do so here. It's a great place to do Go puzzles and just get some generic practice in. With that, hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream today, and let's find someone to raid. Bats, that'll work. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.